back after the CTD that rudely interrupted my talk of the Spartans in this period. I was just saying that the Spartans in this period were different from Spartans in earlier times, but they were still formidable fighters. They are very good hoplites, but they are few in number. So we'll recruit some Spartans now when we won't be able to recruit anymore for 25 turns. So we might as well do so now. Get the Spartans and do the thing that we did last time before the crash. It's a good thing autosave exists. Something odd's going on. Oh. Something strange is happening with the battles. But the tooltips help us. Auto-resolve as last time. This is not supposed to be like this. Ransom accepted like last time. All the icons are messed up. And the game crashed again. I'm worrying that that save is corrupted. I don't tend to save the game while I'm doing the Let's Play, because I think it's not that interesting to just watch me saving all the time. But maybe I'll have to start doing that anyway, because corrupted save games are not fun. Let's check and see if the same problem is still there. Looks normal now, so hopefully we won't have any more problems. Okay, same thing. Third time we auto-resolve this battle. Still won though. This time they rejected the ransom. And Akerotatos gained a trait. Right, making Spartans. Spartiatai. Corinthians can recruit a few more light troops. Akerotatos goes back to Corinth. And before anything bad happens, we make another save and end the turn. Macedonians going east for some reason. I don't think there's anything for them there. Maybe they want to try to take Byzantium. Which we will want to do as well, of course. They can join our league. I'd like to let's play as some of the other factions too, and just start a campaign and do a few turns. It doesn't have to be only this faction. So we have a marriage offer, and I must say, he is a bit underwhelming. He is both slow-witted and uncharismatic. but he is still strong, unselfish and optimistic. He is an Achaean, so he's from... don't remember where Achaia actually is. I think it's up here. He's already 34 years old. We don't have any Achaean cities in our league, and he is a bit lame, so we won't let him join the family. More this year in history, which we'll just skim again. Alexandros of Epeiros. I was saying just that I thought Alexandros was the next in line after Pyrrhus. Slaves revolt on Chios. Chios is not in the campaign. The worship of Serapis arrives in Athenae. Yeah, that's interesting because Serapis was a cult that was established by the Ptolemies in Egypt, and it was sort of meant to unite the people of Egypt and everyone else around the Ptolemy dynasty. It was a completely new deity, which was a mix of the bull god Apis and Osiris, which is why he's called Serapis, Osiris and Apis. And he became a very popular god, and he could be depicted as more of an Egyptian style, or more of a Greek style, with a bearded human head, and he could look more like Zeus, or he could look more like a bull, or he could be a lot of things to a lot of people. So he became popular in lots of places, not just Egypt. And I think the worship of Serapis also spread to Rome later, and he had his own cult there as well. Our new administration is finished in Corinth and Athens. We can build some stuff in Corinth and Athens, and I think for trade income we could go for roads, or to increase our population some more we could go for farms. That will bring a small amount of cash as well. I think we'll take farms because we want more people in our cities. Athens was probably a little bit depleted after being conquered and reconquered. See that Corinth is larger by about 1,000 people, and Sparta is about half as populated as Athens again. We could lower taxes in Sparta to try to grow it a bit. We want Sparta to grow. And just end turn. I hope this is not too boring, but conquering cities too quickly gets boring too. We don't want to steamroll Macedonians. Nice success at killing this Macedonian diplomat, so we won't be bribing any more of our guys. There are some bandits or deserters up here. Now the Athenians can finally have their own standing citizen hoplite garrison. That means the Rhodians can be sent home soon. I don't think the Athenians particularly want to have lots of Rhodian hoplites in their city. They'd rather have their own people. Remember, all these city-states are they are they are independent and ruled by no one but themselves. And the new Spartan hoplites, which I'm very pleased about, will go to Akrotatos, while we'll recruit some helots, some light troops as well. Javelineers, archers and slingers. Sounds good. Spartan armies would have only a small number of Spartiates because they were in so short supply, and lots of non-citizen troops. There were several groups like people called the Periokoi. They were a class which was lower than the citizens, but they were not as low as the helots, who were an enslaved population that kept Sparta running and enabled the Spartiates to do nothing but train for war and go to war, which is why they were so feared. In this period, the Spartiates had they were not necessarily as strictly ascetic as Spartans of earlier periods, and their neighbors described them as having become decadent. But we can't really trust the other Greeks completely when they write about the Spartans, because there tended to be some stereotyping and some myths going about. For example, the idea that Spartans had to win in battle or die is not necessarily completely right. And it's probably because of Leonidas, who was killed along with his entire 300 strong force of Spartans at the Battle of Thermopylae, that this idea that the Spartans had this ideal that it was either win or die, that led to this idea that the Spartans couldn't go home if they didn't win the battle, and the saying that the Spartan women would tell their men, "Come back with your shield or upon it." Someone new came of age. It's a man who is called Leontius. He is a quite strapping young man who is smart, charismatic, and strong. His only flaw is he is a pessimist. That doesn't have to be a real flaw. He is an Athenian, so he can go to Athens. I'm wondering who his dad is. His traits are: he's a talker, overzealous, and he loves foreigners. Okay. Nothing new. Let's look at our cash flow. Can't really afford to keep too many troops. Too many more troops than we already have. We have to. Yeah, I think this is sort of an oddity that comes with hard-coded limits in the engine. So it looks like actually that we can't take the Wonder Outpost. So we were probably not supposed to be able to do that. Ah, well. These can stay in Sparta. While in Crete we have installed the oligarchic government, and Crete is growing quite quickly. It's 1% population growth. We could expand their or improve their farming so it will grow even more. We'll do that and end turn. The Cretans were akin to the Spartans because, like the Spartans, the Cretans were Dorians, one of the ethnic groups of Greeks. And the Corinthians were also Dorians. There were lots of different groups of Greeks who spoke their own dialect of Greek and had some cultural similarities between them. And two Greek cities who shared this ancestry were more likely to ally and help each other. But they could also go to war with each other, and they weren't necessarily friends just because they shared ethnicities. We already saw an Achaean and a Boeotian earlier. Right. Once again, the Macedonians are trying to take Athens from us. And we do the same thing as before. Kick their arses. Once again, not a particularly interesting battle, I would think. So we'll auto-resolve that. Didn't lose too many troops, and we defeated the Macedonians again. Herodotus gained another trait. He is becoming quite the commander. We have command and confidence in the mod, where command is the general's ability to his abilities as a commander, as a tactician, and confidence, which is how much his troops trust him, and it affects their morale. Herodotus will go back to Corinth, and I think we need to make the Athenians a bit more able to defend themselves. I think the Athenians probably feel that way too. Get some poor hoplites first, and then we'll get some epilectoi hoplitai, the best hoplites. The best the city has to offer. So our plan will be to rebuild and get a reasonably large army. Perhaps as large an army as we can support without going into debt. And when we have that army, we'll march north and take the battle to the Macedonians and take one of their cities, city of Demetrias and the province of Thessalia. And of course our next goal will be to go right to their capital and end the threat of the Macedonians once and for all. I am wondering though if the Macedonians have expanded a little bit into the Hellespont, which they haven't because Pergamon came there before them and took Byzantium. It would be good for us to secure trade with Pergamon. We don't have a diplomat right now because Odysseus decided to take Macedonian money and leave us. So we'll get another one instead. They cost 250 upkeep, so they're not cheap, but I think we'll make that money back trading with the Pergamenese. End turn again. The Macedonians have the goal to blockade our port in Crete. So I think we'll have a naval battle next turn. Which we might lose. It's too bad that you can't use family members as admirals, because I mentioned earlier that the Rhodian general who is in Athens right now, who we sent from Rhodes, was a famous naval commander. Farms finished in Sparta, now it's growing quite quickly. Rhodians, under the command of Admiral Dionysos, will go and fight the Macedonians outside of Crete. The odds are in our favor, just slightly, and we won and sunk both of their fleets. Great naval victory. We lost one ship, or I don't know what this represents. Not one ship, but I think one of these fleets is something like, it says here 20 to 50 vessels. So probably more than just one ship. But it was a great victory, we sunk both of their fleets. Still rebuilding, and I think it's fair that Corinthians help send some hoplites to help us take Demetrias, because we freed them from the Macedonians, so I think they owe us. I guess we'll wait until next spring and then we'll attack. Right now the season is autumn, so just 2 turns. And in winter we'll be able to recruit more troops, because in winter in Europa Barbarorum 2 more recruitment slots are open. So 2 more turns and then we go and fight for Demetrias. It will be good to push our front a little bit further away, so we won't have to fight over Athens all the time. That's a bit too close to home for me. It looks like Pergamon is doing well since they expanded and took Byzantium. So it was some clever opportunism to attack the Seleucids and the Ptolemies there. Another this year in history, which comes every winter. Nothing that really concerns us. It's interesting, of course, but we can't read all of this. We don't have that much money to recruit with, but we'll recruit what we can. Some Akontistai, Hoplitai Haploi, more Akontistai in Athens, and the Spartans are already doing their bit. These hoplites aren't costing us upkeep at the moment, but we want them when we march out in the spring. So we'll send them here. And we'll send Akrotatos to bring his forces to that location. Akrotatos and some of the units who are not too depleted to fight. Go there. It would be good if we could get Herakleitos to fight a few battles himself, because he can gain a trait which makes him the ruler of Athens. He could fight some bandits with a small contingent of our army. Now is vulnerable to being attacked by the Macedonians. End turn and next turn we're going to attack. And the Macedonians killed the bandits or deserters or whoever they are. But it looks like they have their hands full with the Epirotes and aren't going to try to challenge us. Once we lay siege to Demetrias, they might come and try to break the siege, so we'll have a field battle. Otherwise we'll have to storm the walls. Which I'm not that good at, but I think we'll still win. In those situations, it's good to play a faction with strong infantry, like the Hellenic cities. They don't have great cavalry, but they do have some strong, heavily armored infantry. Speaking of which, we're going to want to get some cavalry. This is the best we can get. Hippies, citizens on horses. This is a full stack, and we can either try to fight the king of Macedon, who's called Demetrias. That would faction heir, alright. 17-year-old faction heir of Macedon. Or we can go straight for Demetrias, and he's just going to run away if we try to attack him. So we'll go for Demetrias, and then maybe he'll come anyway and try to break the siege. I think we'll take just one siege tower, two ladders and a ram. The garrison is very small, so, and it actually, one of the garrison is in the city of Demetrias is the king of Macedon. It's called Alkyoneus. That would mean that Antigonos Gonatas is dead. So now they're basically just kids. He's 22 and his heir is 17. Things are not going well for Macedon at this moment. Agathos doesn't want to be here anymore. And this must be what remains of the Rhodians, so he'll just take those and go back to Rhodes. Maybe he'll come back later to help some more on the mainland, but for now I think the Rhodians feel that they've already done their bit. Farming upgrade finished in Crete. So now we could build a temple. That will cost us upkeep, so let's build one anyway. Let's build one to Poseidon, because Crete is an island, and I think it's appropriate. The other cities seem to have a temple already. In Corinth, also Poseidon. In Athens, it's a temple to Athena, of course, and the Spartans have a temple to Artemis. Goddess of the hunt. Let's see what the Macedonians do. They can ill afford to lose Demetrias to us now. That would leave them with only Pella. Just as I was hoping, they're going to engage us in a field battle. It says here that the odds are 1-to-1, which would mean that the odds are very much in my favor. They have a lot of phalangites. They have some elite infantry, scary elite infantry, but they're only 18 soldiers. So they've been beaten up before. Some more elite infantry, only a few of them left. A lot of cavalry though. And of course the garrison. Some good hoplites, some light infantry and some cavalry. It's been a long time since we had a battle in the campaign. Nice atmospheric rain for our battle, where we will just form a line with the best hoplites in front. The Spartans will want to be on the right, which is the position of honor in the phalanx, and the Athenians will be to the left of the Spartans. And some more citizens, and yeah, we'll put the phalangites here, citizens here, light infantry on the flanks, and mercenaries. Okay, so mercenaries here, more Athenians here, more Corinthians, and some light troops, more light troops on the flanks. The poor hoplites will be in reserve, because they might break. Cretans have really taken a beating in all this campaigning. Archers in the back, cavalry on the flank. We don't have very good cavalry, but at least they're experienced. I don't remember who this guy is. Yes, oh yeah, of course, he is son of Charmonides. We'll put him on the left flank. Hope he doesn't die. Okay. So now we're done with that, and there are the Macedonians. They are attacking us, of course. Just try to face them a little bit more, if I can get this as I want it. But we'll hold off on that, because they're sending their cavalry forward right off the bat. Should have sent skirmishers to the front. And they're just sitting there for now. This is Prince of Macedon. Let's try to kill him. Slow phalangites will take some time to get there. Meanwhile, it's good for us that we have their heavy cavalry pinned. Here are their light troops, which we will just charge right away because we don't want them to stay at a distance and throw javelins. We'll do it like marathon. The battle is hardest over here, for all their cavalry. Send our light infantry forward. While they have an opportunity to outflank us that they're not taking. Now at least. Looks like they're finally realizing that they can do so. Sending the Cretans to cut them off. Demetrias is dead already. Hope that will break them. Some of their troops are already breaking. Ah, and there is their king. He is charging. Oh, Akrotatos. Oh, Akrotatos. Really not taking good care of you. Sorry about that. Don't end up like your father. At least he has a son, so the Spartan line is safe. It's going quite well. It was a huge stroke of luck that Demetrias died so easily. And Alcyoneus, the king of Macedon, has fallen. Before he could kill his rival king. Isn't it a bit poetic that the king of Sparta and the king of Macedon were fighting so close to each other? Chase them down. Trouble. We haven't won the battle yet, but we're getting there. We're perhaps not being so smart about chasing the enemy before we've broken their army completely. More and more of them are breaking. Losing a lot of our Cretans. These archers are more expendable anyway. We could always get more archers from Crete, but yeah, that's right. You've lost, Macedonians. You are no match against the true Hellenes. About half of their army dead or captured. Would have been more if we had more cavalry. And we can still chase down and capture some more of them. Normally I go for the most expensive and best troops, but since their best troops were already only a handful, there's not too many targets. Here are some of them. 6 Macedonians left. I think there were 10 before we started. Let's capture the rest of them as well. They are dangerous. Right, only 2 left. Some of them are still fighting. Oh yes, these are the elite Phalangites. They don't break easily. They are the best of the best. And fighting them with light infantry, skirmishers, maybe not the best idea. But they're close to breaking now. They are the last holdouts from the Macedonian army. It's not surprising that they would be fighting to the death because they're surrounded, and I'm fine with that. Right, so they're running, and that means the battle is over. Nice battle. We didn't lose few troops, but we didn't lose so many either. Compared to the Macedonians, we didn't lose many troops at all. They are completely routed and broken, and I think we can just march straight into Demetrias at this point. Nice motivational quote from antiquity. That was a huge ransom, and unsurprisingly, they could not or would not pay it. We will be lenient because they are fellow Greeks and we are liberators. Although I don't think the Thessalians necessarily minded being ruled by the Macedonians like they had been since the time of Philip of Macedon, but they'll be happier under our guidance. So now we are already by far the strongest power in Greece, and things are looking very good for us. We are quite close to defeating the Macedonians. As long as we take their capital, we are going to be rid of them. Some civil unrest. I'm not exactly sure what this means or what is going to happen. Another potential husband is not that good either. And he is a Rhodian, which we already have a lot of. So I don't want him. Grotatos, capture the enemy camp. And in Corinth, the farm upgrade is finished. Let's get another upgrade, why not? So we've captured Thessalia and we're very close to the final defeat of the Macedonians, if we can defeat what remains of their standing army and then take their capital. We're going to be done with this war, and then we can focus on perhaps making war on the Epirotes and liberating some more cities here. And after that we'll just look for another target to liberate. But that will all be for next time. So thank you for watching, and see you in part... what will be next this time? Part 5. See you in part 5.